Hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Cardinal Rose Tarot. My name is Cynthia Vogel. Thank you for being here. Welcome. If you're new, thanks for checking these readings out. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for subscribing and supporting my work. And if you're new and you like this reading, I hope you'll like and subscribe or share your thoughts in the comments. It helps my channel grow, and I really appreciate that. I'm kind of living for this channel right now. It's been like so fun to do. It took me a lot of courage, and I originally was going to start the channel with someone. We were going to be a team, and that helped me at that time feel like I could do this. And then they backed out. They didn't feel like they had it to give. And so I remember being at a crossroads of like, okay, am I going to do this channel or not? And I waited. I had already started the YouTube channel, and we had recorded our first couple videos and everything when they pulled out. And so I remember thinking like, okay, I just put it on ice for about 6 months because I didn't want to do it alone. It took me, I had to adjust mentally to doing it by myself. And then once I did and started my channel, it's been so gratifying. And I understand, like, I wasn't upset with the person, but I remember being really disappointed because I was like, I want to start a YouTube, but I didn't have the courage to do it alone, which seems funny. It's just starting a YouTube channel, right? But it's because I was serious about it from the beginning. I didn't do it on a whim. Like, I had it all conceived in my mind, like what I wanted to do, what kinds of readings, what did I want to do in addition to readings, all of that. And so I knew once I started, I wanted to be serious. I wanted to commit to it, and I feel like I have, but it's been humbling at times, like when you're super committed to a layout that you did and you're like, God, this reading was amazing, and then it only gets 9 views. It's like, oh, there's a little bit of a deflation point, but that's been good for my ego too, to remember like, well, you're not doing this for fame. You're not doing it for views. You're doing it because it's your creative expression. Like if I were a musician, right? So it feels good to have kind of gone through that whole journey of like, what are my motives? And anyways, I don't even know why I'm going off on that. Here I am. Welcome. This is just going to be a general collective message. And I also wanted to share these in case anyone is interested. This is from a group of 2 women who are teachers in Gaza. They are a group of birders in Gaza. They're known as Birders for Palestine, and they photograph wildlife in Palestine, and you can order their prints and to support their work. And this is a female sunbird that was photographed by the 2 women who make up Birders of Palestine. All of their photographs are really beautiful. This is a female sunbird, and I donated to them. This, for a $50 donation, I can't remember, I think it was 25 of these postcards, and I just love her. I think she's precious, perched next to this little flower. And it's a way to, the way that they capture the work that they're doing is so meaningful too, because it's a major flyway for migrating birds. And so it's also one of the most environmentally devastated regions right now from all the bombing. And so there's a lot behind these. And I recommend Googling Birders of Palestine and supporting their work. I do it because I love birds in addition to caring about what's happening in Gaza, right? And the genocide that's being committed there. I'm a passionate, bird-obsessed person. I can't get these back in there now, shoot. But I wanted to share about them because they just came in the mail. They weren't mailed from the Middle East. They were mailed from a contact that they have in Texas. So Birders for Palestine, Google them. I'll try to remember to put a link in here too, but I got like 25 of these postcards that I get to now. I'm probably going to frame one because I think it's so beautiful, and then mail the rest like they were intended. So let's get into it. Sorry for such a long intro. I've been trying to get better about that, but that's just part of my style. Oh, and I also wanted to, I'm sure he'll probably never see this. I don't think my nephew watches my channel, but I'm congratulating my nephew Joey. He just got married, and it's a really big milestone for him. He's been through a lot as a person in the world, and I'm so happy for him that he took the step, and I cherish him, and I love him, and I just want all the good things for him. So I'll just leave it there. Celebrating his joy from afar, right? What do we need to know? Let's get into it, Spirit. What's a general meaning? General meaning for something. General, what am I saying? I'm tripping over my words here. What's a general message that wants to come out for the collective today? What wants to come out? What wants to come out? This is like the first day of fall where I am, where it's pretty much going to be rainy all day. And it can get kind of noisy on my metal roof. Hopefully it won't start pouring, because sometimes I end up having to yell over the rain for these videos. What do we need to know? What's going on for this collective? I'm going to pull 6 of these cards. Something is related to the pandemic. Pandemic related is here. Coven of White Witches. So there's some white magic, like good witch type energy present, which is nice for a change. Drug testing and probation is here. Friend group, musical partners swap. Oh, that's right. I'm like, musical partner swap. What does that mean? I was picturing bands just now, but I remember what I meant. I meant like a game of musical partners. Like within this friend group, people are like sleeping with each other or trading partners, right? Like it's a little bit of a free-for-all in this friend group. Passive-aggressive, conflict avoidant. And finally, you can handle this. Know your own strength. Okay, so we have drug testing and probation, white witches, passive-aggressive, conflict avoidant, friend group, swapping of partners, and pandemic related. So what I'm picking up here is that this group of white witches may have come together or gotten more serious about becoming a coven during the pandemic. They're also a friend group. They may have a dynamic, or they do have a dynamic present, which happens with young people, right? Where you're like all in a friends group, and this is your boyfriend at one point, and then you split up. Well, and then it turns out your best friend has secretly had a crush on your boyfriend the whole time, and now they're together, and you have to decide if you're going to make it an issue or try to act cool like it doesn't bother you. It's that kind of stuff that I'm picking up on, where everybody's like, oh, it's cool, nobody owns anyone here, we're all respect each other's autonomy, but deep down there's some hurt feelings and some, because that's what happens. Relationships are triggering and challenging, and they challenge us for our growth, and it gets a little old sometimes. I know. I personally at a point in my life where I'm like, can I have some peace where I'm not being challenged to grow in my relationships so much? I'd like to just have a hiatus for a while where it's just some fun, levity, light lived experience. I don't need all of this intensity right now, is kind of how I'm feeling. So this all has been in play here. There's maybe some high drama in this friends group. There's also somebody who's having to do drug testing and probation. You can handle this, know your own strength. So let's get into it. This is a friend group reading. A friend group reading. What's some advice for you about this? And then I'll pull tarot. What are some advice cards for the person who's catching this out of the friends group in the collective? Someone's facing having to be on probation. You might be dealing with some conflict avoidant or passive aggressive people in your friends group. There may have been a bunch of unspoken hurt feelings as people have gotten involved and with one another's exes. There might be kind of an incestuous feeling in this friend group right now of like everybody having a little too much involvement with each other, or too much, like it's all one way on the surface, but deep down there's a lot more going on. And that can happen too when you feel unsure if you're allowed to have needs in a group, or if you're trying to determine what's my place in this group. Do I want to just go along to get along because I'm trying to fit in? Do I want to stand out and be a leader of this group and speak my truth even if it makes other people in the group uncomfortable, right? Like there's all that kind of stuff going on here. So now what's some advice for you Because if it's a coven of white witches, these are people who are trying to be positive influences in the world, right? But sometimes it can get a little far down that road and become more like toxic positivity or something where people aren't comfortable expressing their negative emotions or something. I'm picking that up. Like there might have been a lot of pressure of love and light, love and light. Well, yeah, behind the scenes, I'm from an abuse family system and addiction and drug testing and legal involvement and all that. Love and light isn't, that's nice and everything, but I'm not from that world, right? So there's kind of these vibes that I'm picking up. And I'm getting some advice cards, and then we'll get into the tarot layout. So we've got family in the upright, escape in the reverse, and illness in the upright, which is, this one is Cujo, illness is. So what's illness in the upright? This is advice that we are asking for. Oops. Prioritize your own needs in difficult times. So that's coming through in this group dynamic. You're being sort of given a nod, like it's okay to put yourself first and prioritize your own needs for a while. Not everybody in this group has to understand you. Especially if you are the one that feels a little bit hurt, or like things got a little too sticky or convoluted or tangled in mesh during the pandemic for this group. That could also be escape in the reverse. So look out for yourself for a while. Stay focused on where you are. Stay focused on your own personal goals for now. Maybe let go of whatever the group messaging is right now and follow your own light. And then family in the upright. What? Why am I... Oh, yeah, I skipped it here. This is from a movie called Hereditary, which I've never seen, from 2018. I'm going to read this description because I've never pulled this card. Every family has its favorites, and the hopes and expectations of older generations are often invested in the young. These designs can be made explicit, as if presented in a diorama, or our actions may be driven by a more secretive ritual. Nature, nurture. It can be difficult to disentangle our own agency from the influence of kin. Strive to live up to expectations. Well, that's interesting, because it's, what I'm hearing is that it's asking you to walk a tightrope of trying to live up to the expectations of this friend group, because if everybody's intent is positive, you're being asked to keep that in mind. It's okay to follow your own light, though. You don't need to be pulled in all different directions because of the group energy. But it is saying and suggesting that you try your best to hang in there with this group as well. Okay, so that's really interesting. There's a lot here. Escape in the reverse. What was that again? That's from Pan's Labyrinth, which is my favorite movie, just about. Why am I already blanking on... Stay focused on where you are. Okay, so just keep focused on the present moment. Pay attention to your own needs and try to meet them. And don't give up on this group. There may be some adjusting that needs to happen or something if somebody in the group has trouble expressing their needs directly, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to necessarily consider... I mean, you have free will, but this is suggesting that it's worth it to hang in there, right? There might be good reason to stick it out with this group, even though you might be feeling frustrated with the group dynamic right now. What's going on? What's going on here? Drug testing. Maybe you're going through something that the rest of the group doesn't relate to, and so they keep trying to give you platitudes, and you're like, yeah, I know, love and light, okay? I've got to go see my PO now. Right? Where you're like, love and light doesn't really apply to the world of criminal justice and going and seeing my PO and the way that this criminal justice system works. So there's maybe a contrast like that, where if you're a coven, that's a tension in spiritual communities, where there's some people that are like, no, love and light, look for the lesson always, and other people that are like, sometimes it's important to be righteous, and there's righteous indignation, and it's not always love and light. Sometimes you have to embrace the poison in a situation. And so that might be the tension of this group. This group might be conflicted about that type of thing. What's our philosophy as a group, right? What's going on? What happened in this dynamic here? Yeah, it's been healing. It's healing. This is exactly that. Like, if I were going to pull from my little oracle deck here, I guarantee you one of the cards that would be to come out would be Harness the Power of Poison to Heal. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, and that's what these cards are saying. The Knight of Swords, you might be the one that's schooling this group, which is like, you guys, not everything is love and light all the time. Maybe this group was a little more sheltered than you growing up. And you're having to be like, okay, yeah, love and light, but also there's a time to throw down. There's a time where we need to defend ourselves. And are we pacifists or are we not pacifists, right? So this is the kind of thing you're reorganizing around your philosophies as a group, and everybody's not on the same page right now. So you're delivering news of like, look, it's not always going to be love and light. I'm not saying, you know, maybe you're someone that is a gray witch, right? Or something like that. And it doesn't have to be witchcraft. It can just be a diversity of tactics in terms of how we interface with the world and the injustice that's happening in the world. Some people believe that we have to be willing to fight. Some people believe that that's on white people right now. Other people believe, no, nobody should be fighting on our side. We should be pacifists, more like Gandhi. Other people are like, we're not going to be liberated by being pacifists. We're going to be liberating by fighting for our rights and fighting our way through, right? Things like that. You might be this truth teller that's like, yo, wake up. Love and light is not going to get us there. That's what's coming through. You're a high priestess. You see the opportunity for a new beginning as a group that's healing, but that faces the facts, that isn't afraid to run from negative. Because a lot of times people are afraid of their negative emotions, but we all have them. So that's why someone might become passive aggressive, is because they got messaging that you're not allowed to have needs. You're not allowed to speak your needs. You're not allowed to be angry in this family. Then you grow up as an adult who has all of those emotions and feelings and needs, because that's what we are. We're biological beings that has all of those things. But if you got messaging that taught you you're not allowed, people become passive aggressive because they have all their needs, but they've been told that they're not allowed to have any needs. And sometimes it looks like them becoming passive aggressive as people. And you might be saying, yo, you don't need to be passive aggressive with me. I can tell something is bothering you about our friendship. Let's get it out on the table. Let's tell the truth. Knight of Swords. Let's get this, let's clear the air. Let's speak the truth here. Not everybody likes that. Lots of people are uncomfortable with truth tellers. And that's what's coming through, is that you're a truth teller. And you're not being witnessed or appreciated for that right now. You're a healer. You're a temperance angel in the upright. But often, again, I'm going to repeat it, truth tellers are not always recognized for the healing that they bring. People don't want to hear difficult truths sometimes, so they scapegoat a truth teller, like they're causing problems and rocking the boat. You're not doing that, but you need this reading to come out as a confirmation for you that you're not doing the wrong thing here by rocking the boat. You might be feeling like, maybe I need to just shut up. This is the Page of Swords in the shadow aspect. You might be feeling like, maybe I need to just keep my words to myself. I brought out these truths. Now I'm getting all this pushback. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Maybe I should have just continued to keep my mouth shut. What you're trying to do is enter a new world, a new era where you're not keeping your mouth shut, where you're not being a group that only allows for positivity or toxic positivity. You're trying to say, no, there's room for both. I'm a truth teller. I don't just keep things light and positive all the time. I'm going to address a problem if I see one, because I'm not passive aggressive, because I'm direct. Not everyone in this group can handle that. And so it's creating like a vibe of tension and competition and one-upmanship and conflict within the group, because some people want you to stay quiet right now and feel like you should be more on the love and light tip. And you're like, well, that's not who I am. The advice was saying, try not to give up on the group yet. Try to maintain your position because it's valuable. You have wisdom here that the rest of the group might not be able to hear yet. But you have, from your own background of understanding, you didn't grow up sheltered. You grew up where sometimes you have to fight in the street, and that's not popular amongst the wealthy suburb class, right? Who are like, no, Yeah, you'll see a dad occasionally who's like, I'm going to teach my kid how to fight, not teach my kid to be a wuss. But also, bullying is such a huge problem that I can understand why there's a backlash of that, which is like, we want to teach our kids kindness at all costs. We don't want our kid to be a bully. Well, sometimes we also have to teach our kids to stand up for themselves at times. It's a fine line, right? That's the tension that you're in. It's made the group have a competitive energy right now where you might be feeling a little bit ganged up on because your perspective is not the popular perspective right now because it's the truth. Yeah, you feel strung up, like you're being scapegoated by this group. You can't make it up. It's here in the Hanged One position. This is your shadow side that's like, why am I being punished for just telling the truth? I'm speaking the truth. I know what I'm talking about, right? Why is this group, vilifying me for it? Yeah, you feel beat up. 10 of Swords. You're feeling like you have to surrender. Like you've tried to make your point. You keep losing out or being outnumbered. And so you're like, fuck it. I fucking give up. And you've had to retreat and go within and listen to your own self for a while. You're being cautioned not to just give up. And it's because you're really frustrated and stung. And sometimes a truth teller, you might tell your truth so harshly right now that it does some damage. So that's why you're being cautioned a little bit. The Lovers, you have a choice coming about this relationship with this group, is what it's saying. You're going to ultimately have a choice about, and it's going to be to do with whether this group can embrace some of your perspective or not. If they can't, you might be better off to leave the group, even though it was at one time very supportive, right? What is this with your choice? What is the choice that is coming for you? Because what you've done is not wrong here. You're trying to usher in a new era that is more balanced, especially pandemic related is coming into play because you may have bonded tightly during the pandemic, but also because during the pandemic, it was very hard to find the truth. There was all kinds of fake news out there that you can drink bleach and kill the virus inside you, right? Which is stupid as fuck, right? But that was out there in the media. People were like, is this real? We had patients in the hospital system where I worked showing up and demanding IV vitamin C. And then doctors being like, we don't do that. That's a myth. Having to educate the public because there was so much misinformation going around. You might be feeling like that right now. Like, why is this group refusing to see the truth? I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm pointing out the dark pole. The dark feminine, Kali Ma. We're not just love and light pixies in this group. We have to look at the shadow aspect of our work as well. And this group is resisting you. So what is your choice? What is your choice that's approaching? I love how she uses this. This is the Marielle Tarot. And it shows an old wizard, an old man with gray-white hair. And then a very dark feminine embracing him, right? And it's this kind of energy is exactly what we're saying. It's captured perfectly in this image. She's not doing anything wrong, but it's almost like she's having to hold on to this man who has lived his whole life looking through one certain lens. And now here's the dark feminine to say, you've been missing a large piece of the puzzle here. Let me hold you while you face that difficult truth. Like we said, it's a difficult truth. It might have been a rude awakening for this man who's representing the rest of this group here right now. The choice is going to be whether you want to do all the work and be a leader in your group to do this work. Because as it stands right now, you feel like I'm open to working with this group, but I don't want to work and never get there. Like, I don't want to keep working with a group that never embraces my takes. My takes are important. I have a valuable thing to contribute to this group, and I don't want to waste my energy if I'm going to be banging my head against the wall. That's the choice that you're facing, and that might be how you present it. Like, look, I want to stay a part of this group, but if this group isn't willing to look at the dark feminine or the shadow aspect of magic and practitioner work and what is our philosophy around that, then I don't want to be in this group, right? Like, that might be what it is. I'm going to pull some Hipperish to see more about that, like where things are headed, because that's the choice that's approaching. You're figuring out, am I going to walk alone? Am I going to keep going? And it makes me also think of Clan of the Cave Bear. I just watched that movie again, which I love. I loved that movie growing up. It's free on YouTube right now if you need a movie to watch. I love Clan of the Cave Bear. They're amazing books also, but for me, I almost am more attached to the movie because I grew up watching it. And Ayla in Clan of the Cave Bear, she has to go her own way. She gets exiled from the group because she picks up a slingshot and learns how to use hunting tools, which for their Cro-Magnon, or no, for their Neanderthal group, according to Clan of the Cave Bear storytelling, a woman is never supposed to touch a hunting implement. It'll curse the implement. But Ayla decides out of curiosity, because she's not a Neanderthal, she's a Cro-Magnon, but she is accepted into this Neanderthal group. And she masters the slingshot and then saves the life of one of the babies of the clan. And they realize, oh my God, Ayla put our whole entire clan at risk by touching this hunting implement. She could have destroyed our clan by doing this, but she just saved a clan baby by her skill. So rather than put her to death by permanent exile, they just exiled her temporarily. And then she made it because of her hunting skills. She gave birth to her baby alone in the wilderness, survived because she could hunt, and went back to the clan and was then allowed to be Ayla, the woman who hunts. That was brand new for this Neanderthal clan. Okay, that's a story right from, I feel like I'm giving it away. Sorry if you've never seen it. Kind of some spoilers in there. But it's really a good movie about this very thing. Ayla spends her whole life trying to be accepted by this Neanderthal group and finally starts realizing, like, I'm not of this group. I'm never going to be a part of this group the way I long to be. It's very intense. There are people, I have chills. There are 2 people in the Clan of the Cave Bear that love Ayla and appreciate her for who she is. The rest of the clan is suspicious of her and afraid of her because she's so different. This is a message for you. If this clan can't accept you, you're going to be better off to go find your clan, okay? It's saying don't give up yet. Give this an opportunity to see. But if they can't accept your takes on things, you are going to be better off to find your clan, okay? That's what this is saying. This Queen of Discs is like Ayla. It's what makes me think of Ayla. And I just watched Clan of the Cave Bear last night. And it brought back all kinds of really wonderful memories for me and had messages for me even today, right? What's your choice coming? You're being cherished by your guides. They're celebrating your courage. In the cornerstone here, that's really important. And that's why it's saying you're going to have a choice. Don't give up yet, but you're being celebrated for being a truth teller. If this group can't adapt and understand how this benefits them to have you in the group versus being unable to handle the discomfort that you cause in them, you're in your North Node on the split. You can trust that. You're not wrong for telling the difficult truths here, but you might be doubting yourself because you're getting pushback. You're not wrong. You're in your North Node. This is part of what you're supposed to be doing with your energy and this life. Bondage. You don't want to feel bonded in this group where you can't be who you are. You're choosing to avoid any circumstance where you're bound and not allowed to be your full self. Self-love, right here. You are choosing self-love. It's a choice between being in a situation where you're not allowed to fully embrace who you are and embracing fully who you are. That's the choice that you have coming. And it may be that this group is able to get on board with you and maybe not. It's saying don't give up yet. Try. You're gifted. You know that. You're a gift in this group. You need to feel cherished in the group. If they're not going to make you feel cherished, it is a sign that you need to walk away, right? And go where you're not going to have that kind of being bothered, right? That was the other dilemma for Ayla, because Ayla had a son with the clan who did have the clan's memories and storyline and like clan energy, right? She didn't, because she wasn't Neanderthal. She was Cro-Magnon, so she didn't have the clan stories. That wasn't a part of her lineage. So when it became this crossroads point for her of being like, do I continue to try to force myself into this clan, or do I go find my own way? She had to leave her son. Like, again, I know that's a spoiler alert, but it's, I mean, what a difficult walk for her, right? I mean, she was totally out of, I mean, she didn't get to grow up with her own kind from the beginning. From the beginning, her mother was killed, right? I'm really resonating with this reading. This might be my reading, honestly, as well. You have to find where you belong. You need to not be blocked, because your energy is healing. You're a healer. You need to be in a group where your energy is not blocked, but where you're allowed to be who you are. Yeah. Love spell, this is, to me, strikes as that ethics where you're deciding as a group. Like me personally, if I was ever going to be in a coven, which I doubt I ever will be because I'm not a joiner, I like doing solo work. This group, you might be deciding as a group, are we going to do love spells? Are we going to do things that interfere with someone's will? Some witches do, and I don't judge them or not, but I don't believe in that. I don't do love spells on people because I don't want someone to be with me because I tricked them with magic. I want someone to be with me because they truly love me. So this is a great example of that, where you're deciding your ethics as a group. Do we want to carry out love spells for people? I don't want to, so I'm never going to be in a coven that does love spells. Am I going to judge that coven and get on here and say that's evil and wrong and you shouldn't do that? No, live and fucking let live. That's what's so wrong. Everybody thinks they're the expert of everything all the time, and it drives me nuts. So this is your kind of crossroads moment where you might be saying, I don't believe in this. I don't believe that as a coven we should be doing things that interfere with people's will. Well, they may feel very strongly that that's a part of doing justice work, in which case maybe it's going to be a parting of ways mutually, right? Without bad blood. Yeah, because you're following your divinity and your divine path. You're in your North Node. It doesn't have to be with this group. It might be a disappointment, especially if you got really close during the pandemic. And it's saying you don't have to. Give it a shot, see what happens, but then feel free to walk away if you're not being trusted. If you're not being trusted, you want to feel trusted. You want to feel regarded for your skills and your gifts and what you bring to the group. And if the group is continually pushing back, it's not for you. That's your answer. So now I'm going to do some scrying work here. And then that's going to be it for this reading, because it's pretty crystal clear. And I'm going to smudge too with some of my smudge stick here. These are my smudge sticks that I made. This one is with sage, lemon balm, citrus, cinnamon. So they're burning a little bit unevenly still, but I'm going to smudge with my smudge sticks because to bring that smoke in of something that I made purely myself. It smells amazing. You can smell all of it. It's just that they're burning at different rates. So if you have a smudge stick like this, like let's say you got one from me, you'd want to be really careful. Like you don't want to just burn this carelessly. You want to have something right near here. Like I have that little mini cast iron skillet. So as things burn at different rates and maybe fall off the smudge stick itself, they're falling somewhere safely and not starting a fire, right? It just smells so good. I love the citrus and clove and all. They're not necessarily scents that you would automatically put together, but they were what I had to work with growing around me where I live. And it does smell good. It smells very interesting. This is to cleanse and protect my home and to cleanse and protect this reading. So we're just cleansing it right here. It smells divine. Cinnamon, orange, clove, sage, hyssop, rosemary. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Oak moss. Sending this out to you. Giving you some Reiki as well. You're amazing. You're a healer. You're a high priestess. You're getting pushback from the people that you work with, and you're being asked to consider Don't make any decisions yet, but go within and consider, because a choice is approaching about whether you want to keep working with this group or not. And it has to do with your beliefs about the world. Ugh, I love that I made these. I was going to give some away, but I might actually keep every single one and just have them purely for myself, for self-care. And that might be what you need to do, right? You might have been worried that that would be selfish, and it's saying if it comes to that, it's okay. You're not being selfish. You have to go where your skill is recognized for the gift that you bring. So I'm seeing a clown face, like a good clown, like a gentle clown. It's picking up energy of childhood and mascot energy, so that also might be in play. There might be, you might take on the role of the mascot in your group. I don't know. The mascot role is coming through. Those roles, the scapegoat, the golden child, the mascot, you might be experiencing tension in this. Whoa, I just got really dizzy. Give me a minute here. That's something that you're going through. You're feeling very disoriented because of roles that you grew up with. You may have grown up in an alcoholic home, or there was talk of like drugs and probation and all that, right? And where this toxic positivity isn't matching you and your own background. I got really dizzy because it was showing me you feeling disoriented. Like, yes, positivity is important, but we're like not connecting. You're feeling very disconnected from the group, whereas before you felt very connected. And it's showing me this little clown like from childhood. There might be something to do with childhood experience and vulnerability that's impacting you. And it's important to know that. Think back on maybe family history and why you feel as vulnerable as you do right now, and that might help. I'm seeing the Big Dipper. So prayers, speaking to your higher power, stargazing, looking up at the stars, connecting to memories of camping is coming through. I don't know, something about that is important with the Big Dipper. Now I'm seeing like a radar gun, like a speed gun that the cops would use. So justice coming through with that radar gun. I'm seeing one of those, God, I can't remember what they're called. It's like a pencil tool and a compass that, it's a tool for geometry, mathematicians. It's like I'm drawing a blank on what it is, but it's where you stick a little pencil in the air, and then there's a point on it, and you write, it's a circumference tool, like to write a perfect circle. Perfect circles coming through now. The band Perfect Circle and Tool might have relevance here. I'm seeing an alligator. That can be a symbol. Alligators and crocodiles can be a symbol of ancient Egypt. I'm seeing a seahorse. And one thing that's striking me about the seahorse is the gender disposition of roles is different among seahorses when they're mating, so that might have relevance for someone. There's like a very sad smile here. Like someone is really smiling from behind pain. Or there's pain behind their smile. I don't know if that's you, maybe. Yeah, because that's what you keep trying to get the group to embrace. Like the harder sides of life, like the dark shadow, our painful emotions. It's like this group is averse to that. And you're being witnessed here for how gifted you are at that. Yeah, the jinn come through a lot for me. I'm seeing an oil lamp, like a genie lamp. So you're really being, the jinn might be a topic of discussion in this group, and you really need to, I would not let up. This is just one witch to another. Do not make a decision to work with the jinn or not lightly. That's a very deep decision that carries a lot of risk. And if this coven is wanting to work with jinn and they're not knowing or not very experienced, it would not be a coven I would recommend working with for what that's worth. Working with jinn is very risky. To your own self, right? It's very personally risky. I'm seeing a Christmas tree with Christmas lights. Something about that time of year is going to have meaning. Now I'm seeing the angel at the top of the tree, and it's like it's showing me that's your angel. Like you are being witnessed and watched over. Don't let anyone, especially people with a Christian background, try to make you feel like you're not being spiritual enough or Christian enough. That's like a message for someone. Like Christians don't have the market cornered on being good people or being spiritually elevated, right? But they often think they do. Yeah, something about geometry. I'm seeing lots of geometric right angles. Someone might be a builder or a maker or good at math, like interested in solving equations and challenges and those types of logical problems. Somebody might be really interested in that. I'm seeing a phoenix. So that's the mythological creature, right? A phoenix rising from the flames, rising from the ashes with brilliant plumage. And that's kind of becoming a quetzal, the resplendent quetzal, which is a famous bird from Mexico and Central America. Maybe South America too. Something about Jim Henson is coming through, this Muppets and Sesame Street. And Cookie Monster. There's some other orange monster on there too, that there's more than one of them, and they don't speak, but they make a noise that's their language. Like, it's like they say one word and that's all they say, or those characters are coming through. Fox on the Run is a song coming through. I think that's by the band Sweet. That's a 70s like power anthem, Fox on the Run. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull a final message from Colette Baron Reed. Hang in there. Take some time out to just try not to solve this problem for a while, because it's saying don't give up yet, but you definitely need a break. You're pretty taxed from this whole thing. What is some final message for you from Spirit for this layout? Milk and honey. This is so going to be just what you need to hear. I can feel it. I feel for you. I really relate. This might be my rating too, honestly. I relate a lot to this message. Card 51. For me, it's not about a coven, but the messaging is still really relevant to me. You've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, and you're in your north node. Wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are a living part of. All your needs are being met. You're given a gift of nourishment in every form, so you are safe. You're being witnessed. For the skills and gifts that you bring. You may not be witnessed the way that you deserve in this group. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't be witnessed, right? Don't let this group define you, okay? Sensuality, connection, and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding, and love among friends and family are all here for you to savor now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude, and you will be nourished with the honey of abundance. So that's all coming for you. Just take a rest right now. There is only one authentic you. This version of yourself is Spirit's emissary in the world. When you're in alignment with the truth that you are a unique expression of the divine, boom, your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. You have arrived there. What's happening is that people around you may have you doubting that. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity, and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make right now, and it's emphasis on the you. With every choice you make right now, you have the potential to seize good fortune and embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life now. Be open to them. You're getting a sweet taste of what you want. So that's a great final message. Make sure that whoever you're partnering up with, it feels sweet, it feels good, it feels right. You feel seen, you feel accepted, you feel embraced for who you are, not what the group thinks you should be, right? So if you're in a group right now where everybody's trying to get you into their mold or whatever, pay attention, take note, breathe, rest, watch and wait, and know where you belong is where you're going to feel all of those things, where you're recognized for your gifts, and it's coming for you. You're just being, this is the lesson of this experience, is that it's coming for you to decide, is it with this group or is it with another group? Everybody's probably going to be different, but this reading came out in a timely way for you to be witnessed for who you are. So I'm honored. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.